Hello everyone, I'm Mithra. Today we have the June update, the last update before Gen Con, maybe. Gen Con this year is like the end of this month, or the end of July, so tomorrow. But I think that update might happen like the night before Gen Con. So this will be the last one before that. We have, it is called the June 25th Revamped Shipping Wave 1 on boats. Huge news. Shipping address confirmation and pre-orders are imminent. Gen Con ahoy. So we get this graphic, which again, just I'll explain it real quick, which is Pariah from left to right. It's Pariah, Aeneas, Brawl, Seer, Nico, and then on top of Nico is Goth, and then Candy Cola, and Death Drifter, or Deathlight, Hyperlight Death Drifter, I think is what it is. So yes, that's the four Wanderers, Red Witches, and Pariah. False Messengers, I think, is also in there. They're not here in the graphic because they're not new content. I think there's one more thing in there. I can't remember, but I think it might just be False Messengers might be the other thing in there. But that's it. So, Revamped Shipping Wave 1, making its way to fulfillment centers around the world via a fleet of shipping vessels. Previous estimates for end of July to early August fulfillment hold strong, and we look forward to reaching out backers in about 2 weeks. Confirm your shipping address for the wave. So, in about 2 weeks, that would be the middle of July, they'll collect shipping, then they'll get shipped to you. Maybe we'll get to see it before Gen Con. Maybe. Either way, we'll be able to see it at Gen Con. They have Red Witch and Pariah there. Hopefully, maybe the Wanderers. Either way, very cool. Looking like majority of people will have it at some time in August. Very lucky few might have it in July. So, Red Witch Pariah expansions pre-order coming soon. The Dark Treasury beta. There's still no link here to join the beta, but it says for those who missed out on the chance to acquire all of the releases they wanted from the upcoming shipping wave, we'll be hosting pre-orders mid-month before fulfillment begins. So maybe we'll get another update before Gen Con mid-month, and then not another update until August maybe. These pre-orders will run through our Dark Treasury, allowing for flexible shipping once they are released. Shipping for these pre-orders will become available as soon as back fulfillment is complete, so don't miss the final opportunity to pick up any items you have been eyeing. So with that said, that means probably, very likely, maybe the Dark Treasury will open to all backers. Maybe it will come out of the Dark Treasury beta. It's here labeled again as Dark Treasury beta, but maybe it will be open soon. Gen Con, same spot as last year. They've never needed to update this graphic for multiple years now. Getting lots of use out of that graphic. Gen Con 25 is fast approaching. We're looking forward to seeing everyone at the show. Next month's update will be a shorter affair as I decided most of my non-dev bandwidth towards preparing for the convention. With any luck, a few backers will receive Pariah and Rubbish's expansions by then. That would be amazing. Hopefully, maybe I'll get to see them before I do interviews with Poots. That'd be great. If you'll be at our convention, swing by our booth wearing your favorite Kingdom Death t-shirt for your unique alternate art Gen Con gear promo. Alternate art Gen Con gear promo. I don't know what that means. Could be anything. Maybe it's the Founding Stone from the Sim. That'd be cool. I really like the Founding Stone. Hopefully it's, a card with rounded edges and an actual card, not just the squared ones like beta. But even if it is, that'd be still cool. Founding Stones you just archive anyway. It'd be really cool if it was that Founding Stone from the Sim. Armor set updates. The Sculptor's Lantern has been glowing brightly as we give the range of Kickstarter miniatures a final pass before they head into engineering and finally to be tooled into pure calcified organ metal, like all Kingdom Death miniatures are. Here are some of the region highlights to share. That looks like Pond Scum armor. So... also Pond Scum armor. You can see the changes there. Thickness. This is Dead armor, which it is now called. Harder to tell there because the model's just kind of turning, but it looks like the hair and the pose. That is... Oh, you know what? That might not be Dead armor. It looks like Dead armor, though, because of the scythe. The next one, this is also Dead armor. So it looks completely different. Yeah, these are both Dead armor, I think. And then that's Ram. But this, no, they're both dead armor. And that's a Ram one, but it could also be a hybrid. Don't know for sure, but it definitely looks like it's a Ram because of the daggers there. We've seen those daggers, and just because it's clearly Ram armor. And then one of our biggest adjustments, an entire resculpt for female B from the Griffin armor set, which we naturally took back to the drawing board to ensure we could, or she could be the best that she could be. Very cool. Very cool artwork there. Silver Relic armor, revised and heading to tooling. We really love how this turned out. Here is just male A with all of its weapons and head options to check out. So this is from Silver City. Yeah, Silver City. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Ivory Dragon rescan. So I'm not thrilled to admit this one. But as we started to dig into the engineering for the Ivory Dragon, we realized that the scanning did not turn out very well due to the size of the parts and the insane fidelity of the hand-sculpted details. We had a lot of parts that had lost the vast majority of details. Thankfully, we found a hyper-specialized partner with a proprietary, there we go, piece of technology. They're able to come to our rescue. We dispatched a team member to spend a few days with them, ensuring we got the best possible result. Now it's all done and we can resume engineering. The final model will serve as a unique finale monster, a quarry monster, and a nemesis monster. We are designing it so that each of its unique parts can be separated to battle on its own. So, that is interesting. A quarry, a nemesis, and a finale. We knew it was a finale. We knew it was a nemesis. We didn't know it was a quarry, I don't think. Talking about it last year at Gen Con, I think is when we got more information on it. I think it was still going to be like just a nemesis, two nemesis, or maybe an encounter, a nemesis, and a finale. But yeah. Our initial scan data of the Ivory Dragon was simply not fine enough to capture all the loving sculpting, handmade details, and texture work. We found a specialized facility with a custom machine and proprietary software, and once again scanned this beast. So lots of images here. I'm just going to scroll past it, mostly because it's just not complete here. It just looks like all the things. So all the remaining campaigns of death tools are currently being CNC'd. The Wise One, People to Mirror Stone starting survivors, which are the barbarian survivors. Dung Beetle Baron's Ball, Eve, and the Sky King armor. The Dark Flower armor arrived today, and thusly, I am stoked to show it off. Scissor Blades and Sunflower Capes galore. So, Scissor Blades is very neat. Hopefully it's a scissor type. We've seen scissor type before, but look at those. Amazing. Hopefully it's not just swords. Maybe it is just a big sword or a grand weapon. It could be both. I mean, but I hope scissor becomes a thing. Very cool stuff. We are committing to ensuring that everything we deliver is the absolute best we can muster. June web store releases. So there's the artwork. Time for some fun in the sun. Is that an orc? Yes. Just as Summer Grimmery didn't think it could get any worse. Just as Summer Grimmery didn't think it could get any worse, the orc. Just as Summer Grimmery didn't think it could get any worse, the orc boss from our generic range emerges from the archival depths of this ridiculous ocean metaphor designed by Zine Shin and hand-sculpted by Thomas David. This charming brute splashes down in hand-poured resin, a crafting tradition from our past. So, very neat. Summer Grimmery, he's definitely a vibe. Summer Aya, all kinds of cool stuff. So, Kingdom Death Simulator as prepare for a potential, maybe, perhaps, crowdfunding later this year for our Humble Simulator project. Dark Architects have been hard at work polishing up the Red Witches expansion, Gambler's Chest expansion, and some new heirlooms to enhance the functionality of their experience. Our hope, if we do launch a campaign for it, would be to ensure funding to really speed up this development and reach parity with Kingdom Death releases and Kingdom Death releases and Kickstarter releases. It would be amazing if things were more parallel, and the Great Wheel of Development demands more talented people and resources to give us much needed speed boost. So there's a lot of stuff He's mixed about this. I don't want to really go over all of this. Basically, he just talks about Kickstarters in general. Yeah. I don't want to really talk about that stuff. The bottom one here is, for now, I will continue to heavily flirt with the idea of crowdfunding The Sim. My priority is finishing this campaign, but if the team of Dark Architects feels like they can manage it, it might be the right move to get it up to speed. So, still no firm thing on whether or not it's going to be kickstarted. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about that stuff. So we'll see what happens. The heirloom wax sealing stamp is currently in the works. So you can seal envelopes and mail users letters and instant photos of your table setup. So they can use your photos for speedy setup in their own dwellings. That is cool. That is very nice for backing up saves. If you've seen The Sim, I played with Jay on The Sim here. We currently only have the one person's room, so if something happens to Jay's room, I also lose my campaign progress. This would be great to create backups. I know we have the clouds, the stone cloud, but only the person who puts the picture in can access it, right? Like, I can't take a picture in the room currently, put it in my stone cloud. It would still be Jay's stone cloud. It's linked to his room. So this would be great. Community garden. Do you have any update on the ultimate terrain? Great question. The sculptors and I have made a lot of headway on this project. I've recently settled on some final decisions on how these pieces should be produced to maximize their functionality. I'm not ready to show any progress photos just yet. It's definitely a possible talking point for an update in the near future. So it's great that functionality is being expanded. Maybe you don't need to replace them fully. It already looked like you didn't need to replace them fully. There were some pictures shared already where it showed them being on the regular board, so that's great. In The Sim, when the prize is released, what are the possibilities of having Level 3 Showdown have an upside down option? Oh, that would be ridiculously fun. Do you have any plans on adding more monster-specific hunt events for old monsters, expansions? I think, because it means old monsters, meaning the core, and then expansions. Like, it should say adding more monster-specific hunt events for old monsters, like, in general, but, that's something I'd love to gauge the community on. Right now, I would say that it's more likely we create more basic or monster-agnostic hunt events than monster-specific ones, but I'm happy to explore the idea of more monster-specific hunt events if that is something the community is excited about. So, this is interesting because this is actually telling of COD. COD's next. The answer to this would have been like, maybe we'll see what pans out in COD, right? Or maybe COD can adjust for this. But saying that it doesn't say that it's not happening. It just says that it's more likely that they'll make more basic and monster agnostic hunt events. Which would be good. More basic ones are also nice, but then you got the balance of because currently the balance is you only get 12 cards, right? I've talked about this before. You get to 12 cards or whatever, you move cards out, then you get the balance around what are those 12 cards. Then when you add Lonely Tree, now you've got a 13-card deck. Every time you add cards to that, you're making it less likely to hit random basic hunt events, which is not bad, but a lot of seed patterns require the basic hunt event table. Not a lot, but seed patterns require the basic hunt event table. The less you're rolling on it, the less likely you're going to see those things for seed patterns and strains, fighting arts, rewards, rare gear. Kind of want to hold that balance. Maybe you add more basic hunt events to keep the balance correct. Also less likely to get scout, arc, and encounters because those use the same balance of a 12-card deck. That's why they have you remove some. So it's a lot of stuff to think about. With the monster ones, they're a separate deck from the basic table. You could add more of them. Now, with Croc and stuff, Croc has a lot of very good basic hunt events. Stuff that interacts with, so it'd be neat if they went back and added it, right? Now, there's a thing, Taste said, that the Croc one specifically that gives the IR, that's a really unbalanced one. I'm glad that they're fixing it. You get the guitar, the Blood Glass guitar, which is super strong. It's quite a power boost. It makes Croc really, really good as a Node 1 if you want to steamroll like the early years. It helps your survivability. Makes Croc like predominantly really good. Croc is great anyway, but if you really want a power game, if you really want like winning and stuff, but all those things really makes like that Monster Hunt event, the one that gives Inner Lantern, a lot of the good ones for just getting resources and things. Lion has the same thing where the Lion Cub and stuff. Lion also has the Lope one, where even if you're not using Lope as your node 2, it's Lope that has a lion that can show up. That's what it is, not the other way around. But things like that. So Tasted mentioned that the IR giving Croc basic hunt event will probably get fixed in a card pack. So, but it still would be neat to get some monster ones redone, even if you were to add like 2 or 3, just with knowledge options. Doesn't need to be knowledge specific, but like if you're a survivalist and like Node 1 should direct survivalism, because survivalism is always your like starting. Currently, it is always your starting philosophy. There could be more starting philosophies, but so we need to see stuff like that just added in there. Doesn't need to be only that, but it is a neat way of having synergy hunt event cards, because monsters would have lots of synergy. Like the Lope one should honestly be synergy, because if you're having Lope and Lion as your Node 1, you're using Lope, then the Lion shows up. Maybe you'll fix that so it just says a Node 1 shows up, but it would be neat to have synergy hunt event cards like the Dragon and Sunstalker I think will probably have, but I think this is I think it's much more interesting to go the monster route, so you're not upsetting the balance of the basic deck. Long story short, I think they should really investigate that, like the probabilities and things. I thought that would be something that would happen in COD, but so this question's a really, really, really interesting question with a really, really interesting response. Now that the Red Witches are done, how linked with the Inverted Mountain and Griffin are they? Would prefer to play them first in the ideal situation. And I'm happy to wait if you think they'd be best played with one or both of those two. All Monsters expansions are meant to be played well a la carte. Any Inverted Mountain campaign specific and synergy content will be present in the Inverted Mountain campaign itself, not part of the Red Witches release. I think you should have a wonderful time if you decide to start by inserting the Red Witches into a campaign by themselves. This is great. It's a very interesting answer. I know with Frog Dog, we saw the Omen system. So that's supposed to be much more prevalent in the Inverted Mountain campaign. So it's interesting that I mean, it's good. This is great that the synergy contents should all be in the Inverted Mountain campaign expansion box. That's good. That's how it should be. But I suspect there'll be synergy still, even when used solo, right? I bet Red Witches will have some synergy with Arc, some synergy, so that means Gambit's just expansion. Some synergy probably with probably Pariah. Maybe with core monsters, core weapons, maybe Twilight Knight swords, some stuff like that. You never know. So hopefully stuff like that still in there. Maybe even other expansions in there. But it would be I guess the best thing would be, yes, I agree. You should keep it all to the Inverted Mountain campaign box since that's what it's for. But some synergy won't be bad. I'm glad that it doesn't play heavily on it, though. That was something that could be concerning, because Frog Dog has a hard problem getting copper, and maybe Inverted Mountain will make copper easier. Same thing with like Black Knight. The seed patterns will probably be easier to craft with the Ram and the Griffin. So as your Node 3, because currently the Node 3 seed pattern uses scrap. As a monster, it's an era Node 3 that uses scrap, but the only one that has that is Phoenix. And if you use, no, not the only one. The only one that doesn't have that is Sunstalker. Phoenix and Dragon King do have scrap monster resources, and if you're not using King as your node 4. You're not going to be able to get a node 4 version of Scrap. So stuff like that is kind of tricky, but, you know, it is what it is. Will there be an opportunity to purchase the Naked GC armor bundles for Gen Con Black Friday? There are 3 or 6 variants on the build guide, and having only one of each isn't enough to build. It's only enough to build, you know, 3 to 6 of each variant. Yes, it would be nice to be able to get more things, because the core game, well, all the original 12 plus the core game armor kits used to be things. They're the old scale. It'd be great if those got upscaled as well. Maybe they'll start doing more of this in the future. And then questing Alistair and Urza. Questing Urza, pretty sure we'll see that this Gen Con. So we've seen already a picture of questing Urza. So with that said, that is this update. Really great to see that it's possible. It's possible people could be getting Red Witches in the next 4 weeks or so, right before Gen Con. That'd be amazing. Highly unlikely for me. I didn't get mine right away, but it'd be great to see. I hope someone gets it before Gen Con. Then I'll be able to see it, talk about it. That'd be great if that happened. So pretty good news. Maybe we're now in the weeks away from this. Well, I mean, we're definitely weeks away if you're willing to go up to like 8 weeks from now. But we're no longer measuring months for this new wave, which is always great. So I'll see everyone in the next video.